it takes and I'm ready. I know what it takes and I'll blow your mind. It's like dynamite. Well. My favorite, all-time favorite reality TV show is my favorite TV show of all time, or reality TV show, which I like even more than Love and Hip Hop. I don't really watch much because it's not really available to me anymore. And the little snippets that I see on YouTube doesn't really make me want to go and purchase on BT or anything like that. But the reality show I'm talking about tonight is Little Women of Atlanta. And it actually went off the air 4 years ago, but I heard about it through my ex. It was just funny how he put me on to the show. And he was like, yeah, you gotta see it. It's these midget women and stuff like that. My military ex. So the show came out in 2016, but I knew about it like when I was dating him, 2017. So I was like catching up on the episodes, and it's so good. And the reason why I like it is because it's so relatable. Though they be midget women or little people, midget is considered a curse. So it's derogatory, so you can't say midget. So I wanted to talk about some of the stuff that they've been through because I feel like it's so relatable, you know, the topics and things that they, with baby daddy drama. Some of them have multiple children with a man they're not in a relationship with, and we all know somebody like that. And I'm like, that's what got me hooked. And I'm like, yo, I know somebody like that. God, I actually used to work with a girl, very delusional. Her post was so crazy. That's what I love about Facebook. You could put not interested. You can unfollow a person without unfriending them. And this one particular girl, like, she was so in love with a man that wasn't even her man. And he, like, it was crazy because, you know, she's an average size girl, but with these little women, the problems that they had, average women go through too. And that's why you can't help but to watch it, because it's like, oh wow. But what made me do this video is the topic I'm gonna put on this is father knows best. And sometimes our parents don't know everything, but sometimes it's good to listen sometimes. And we didn't really get to the names of the twins are Amanda and Andrea. And they had two parents that was helping with. So Andrea has 3 kids by a man. He actually had a family before her, and they were off and on. Finally, they finally called it quits because he put hands on her. But before that, they were engaged. But I think he was just following the other sister, Amanda. Amanda was engaged first, got married. They got married in 2019, and Jordan filed for divorce in 2025. And I actually wanted to talk about that because that is the first, like, celebrity couple I've heard breaking up. And I actually feel sorry because I thought Jordan was a good guy. You know, he was more than just a husband or a boyfriend. He actually was helping his girlfriend take care of her niece and nephew. Unfortunately, Andrea didn't pick a very good man, and he used to do disappearing acts, and his family wasn't helping. It was her parents that were helping and her sister. So Jordan was the boyfriend that was helping his girlfriend out with the kids that weren't even hers. And there's a particular episode, I guess, in season 2 or 3, I think it is. And she does say, you know, Jordan, don't leave me. So, but we're not thinking, oh, he really gonna leave her. And what makes it so sad is they lost their father. Somebody put rest in peace in the comments, because now they're starting to play episodes on Lifetime on YouTube. Those of y'all who follow Lifetime on this channel. So for whatever I guess they're losing ratings, because I don't know why they playing it back, because this show is from 4 years ago. So that's what made me want to binge watch it. I binge watched it the whole weekend and today. Like, I'm up to season 6 because I'm like, it's like a soap opera. You can't help but to watch it all day. And it's 2 in the morning now, and I'm talking about it. Like, that's how good it is. Like, when y'all are bored and don't have nothing to do, watch Little Women of Atlanta. It's so good. From Minnie. Now, Minnie, she lied about having a boyfriend and being pregnant because she wanted to fit in. I don't know why, because none of these hoes was happy except for Amanda and Jordan. And he filed for divorce this year. He's seen licking some girl's foot in a bar, you know. And some people might take offense to this, and I don't care. Me watching this show proves one thing, that men will honestly fuck anything walking. Because, and this is not to throw shade at small women, but the fact that there are men out there that, because one thing that these women all have in common, none of the men want to be with them. None of them. The only one that actually had a man that actually liked them was Jordan. Like, he actually would, they would go out on dates and you could see he was into her. But he wasn't into her either because he filed for divorce this year. So I'm confused. Like, you know, but like Abira, she's the one that everybody says she looked like Jamie Foxx when he dressed up like a woman in Living Color. She got 5 baby daddies now. She just had a baby. Then there's a one they call J-Lo, Tanya. She just had, no, she's pregnant with her 4th child. And 2 of her kids are from her friend that's gay. And he was in a relationship with a man and impregnated her. And she knew that he was like with a man. That to me is so sad because it's like, damn, you know. Damn, you know. And then this man, he, not just because he was gay, but he didn't have a job. Like, it's just really sad. Like, it's one of the saddest reality shows to watch. Like, Love and Hip Hop is sad, but it's like, this one is like even more sad. Like, damn, you know. Amanda was afraid that Jordan would leave her because, you know, he basically was forced to watch the niece and nephew to help out because that's her niece and nephew. And Chris, the other dad or boyfriend, whatever, he would just walk out. So I feel like with Jordan, he probably got overwhelmed because like the grandfather passed away. He was helping out. Like, he was a good dad and granddad and was helping out. And he passed away. So now it's just the grandmother and the twins. And they're raising 5 children now. Because they said how Amanda had 2 kids for him after they got married. But that's the part that's really like, wow, you married her, had 2 kids for her, and filed for divorce. Hopefully he's helping out. Hopefully they get back together. That's one couple I'm rooting for because he seemed like a good guy. Like, what the hell? He's licking somebody's foot at a bar. That's so sad. Money, we kind of knew he wasn't shit because, like, he kept making excuses. And there's so many lessons you could learn. That's why I urge people, it's more than just entertainment with these shows. You could actually learn a lot of things. With Money, there were so many red flags with Moreland because, well, his name's Moreland, but she says Moreland. Moreland. But it was so many red flags with him because he kept complaining. He said, oh, she couldn't cook. She had anger issues. He left her when she lost the ring. And it's like, it's never that serious. But he was doing that because he was cheating on her. So finally, when they broke up for good, season 6, he's trying to come back to her. And they recently got married. They got married before Amanda did. They got married in 2018. And by 21, it was like over. And it was sad with her because she tried to get her son D2 back. And she was unsuccessful. I guess they watched the show or whatever. But she lost custody of her son. And the son continued to live with the father. And she got visitation. And then she got divorced from Roland. So that's a lot, you know. that's two failures back to back for money, and that's sad. And the red flags with him is he kept complaining, you know, and that's something I wanted to briefly talk about. Like, anytime that a man is complaining about you, whether it be your living situation, your attitude, or anything like that, and you do the littlest thing and he want to leave, it's the fact of he don't want to be with you. Like, that's what it is. He really don't want to be with you, because there ain't no way you in a full-blown relationship and he just thinking of shit of a reason to leave you. It's because he knew he didn't deserve her. Because at the end of the day, why she gotta go to work and it's a show? Ain't the show giving her a check? That's one thing I didn't understand. But she had quit her job. She was working somewhere, and then she got a job with Minnie in a hair salon, and then got fired after a week, and he was on her case. Like, I feel like a real man would have been like, you know what, just take your time and make sure you find something you like. But he was pressing her, like, he was talking to her like she's like a grown person living at home type, you know, like how you know, like if you an adult living in your parents' house, that's how he was talking to her. He wasn't talking to her like a husband. I feel like your husband should be more supportive. Like, yes, you should hold up and help pay bills, but I don't think it should be, if you portraying yourself as a provider, be that. Why you know, like threatening her, like, oh, you gotta get a job and keep one, da da da. Like, it was just an excuse to leave her, because he would leave and mess with other women. And the truth came out that he really was cheating. And right before the wedding, the day before the wedding, in fact, his best man had blurted out, if you knew half of what I knew, you wouldn't be marrying him. And she didn't know. So then Juicy, being Juicy, she went behind her back and asked the dude, like, what was going on. And he was like, yeah, he was cheating on her and stuff like that. And later on, she found out, like, yeah, he really was cheating. And then with Minnie, she lied about, like, the pregnancy and stuff like that. She lied about having a miscarriage. So then her and Money weren't friends no more. Juicy dragged it. Like, the black balloon, didn't invite her to her party. But then Juicy got her pastor to do counseling with them. So finally, when Minnie got her own apartment, you know, Juicy didn't show up because the mother threw chicken wings at her, season 1. So, yeah, it's a lot. Then Abira comes in season 3. Or was it 2? Season 3, I believe. And at first, when she comes on the show, she's cool. She's actually a friend of Sonya's, and they used to strip together. And yes, you do have little people strippers, and that's why I'm like, it just shows you, like, men, when men be like, oh, I would never. Listen, this show is so educational. And it's our men. It's our men. Black men, okay? Black and Latino in that show, okay? Okay? Yeah, okay. And then you had the Drummond twins. They came the first season. Or was that season 2? But yeah, so they came in and started questioning Money about how she was on food stamps and then reported. Now I feel like that was just a storyline, because when you start working, like, I remember I was never on welfare, but I had a friend that, like, pushed me to go on food stamps, and she was married, so she lied and told them that she was living with her mom paying rent. And her husband was telling her, like, don't put my name on no shit. And he was able to provide, but we're so conditioned as black women that live in certain neighborhoods that, oh, whatever. No, if you got a man to provide, don't do that, you know. Or even for me, I was single, but I had food stamps for a year, and so once I started working again, they cut me off, and I was okay with that. Like, they was like, oh, recertify. Every time I tried to recertify, they would come up with an excuse like, oh, you didn't send your documents, you didn't do this. And so I got tired of it, and I was like, whatever. Thank God I'm not that dirt poor where I actually needed it. If you need it, you need it, you know. But usually when they find out you working, they just cut your ass off. Like, you know, so I had my unemployment or whatever, and I was able to get the food stamps. But once I started working again, you know, so with her, she said how she started working again, and she didn't say welfare. She said food stamps and Medicaid. She said when she started working, she didn't report it, and so that's considered fraud. But I'm like, what? Like, how is that fraud? I guess so. But somehow or another, these twins, Drummond twins, they look like gremlins. they they found out about it and brought it up to the yacht event. And I swear to God, y'all have to go. That is the funniest shit I've ever seen on TV. Like, they need their own show. Like, that's what makes the show so good, because there's so many funny things about the show that you could tell it wasn't planned, but they did it. And that's what made the show so good, because it was so funny. Very informative. Little women, they cannot have vaginal births. They have to have a C-section. When they have children, it's a 50% chance that the child will come out little. So that's why I don't understand with these men. Like, why would you sit there and have a kid with them and you know that the child might come out a little person? That doesn't make sense. And then they're gonna have all these surgeries and all these complications. It just shows you, and none of them were good fathers. Not one of them. Not one of them. The only one that was a good dude was Jordan, and then now we hearing on the internet that he divorced her, so he wasn't shit either. And the grandfather, he was a good dude, but he's passed on. So that's really sad. Like, I really feel bad. Minnie passed away during the pandemic, chasing her boyfriend. He was cheating on her. And I wanted to briefly talk about that. Like, don't drive when you're angry. I'm surprised I never talked about this show on my channel, but when I heard about Minnie's death, and her real name is Ashley, it really broke my heart, because, you know, she finally got into a relationship, and she hadn't had a boyfriend in a while. Pastor Troy was somebody she wanted to be with, but he didn't want to be with her. Pastor Troy is actually a famous rapper in Atlanta. He has a couple of songs, you know. And so you see in the season that she's dating different men. Some of them are platonic, you know, but she's searching for love like any of us. And she finally gets into a relationship, and this dude dogged her out. And the sad part about it is she hopped in her car and she went after him and died chasing a man. And I can't stress that enough. And, you know, for me personally, I could never chase a man, because my mom taught me you never chase a man. She always tell me, Crystal, you here because he chased me. Like, for real. Like, and I could never do that, you know. Even calling a man too many times, because I had an experience when I was 20, and I was calling a guy. He told me his phone wasn't working, so I believed him. Do you know he told people that I kept blowing up his phone? And I promised I'm 36. That happened 16 years ago. I taught myself to not call a man more than twice because of that. Because I be damned. Not just because the way I look, but you know how many dudes, and I had to like teach him and remind him, you know how many dudes, like, I just was appalled, like, that he would even, you know, how dare you? Like, are you serious? Like, but it taught me to never, 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 ever, 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 ever call a dude more than twice. Because he's going to think, oh, did it ever? And you never chase no man. And I wish her mom would have taught her that, because, and that's the downfall, and that's nothing. I could talk about this show for hours because there's so many different like topics that they covered. But the downside of single motherhood is like she never saw her mom with a man. So that's where they clash, because it's like I'm a single mom, but my son has seen me with two men. And so people often say you're not supposed to have your son around, or your kids around a dude, but your kids actually need to see some type of normality in a relationship, because how are they going to know what to tolerate or what not to tolerate, right? So like with my parents, I know not to tolerate certain things because I learned to be opposite. That's not what I want, right? But if you're a single mom and you've never had a man, or your daughter especially has never seen you interact with a man, how's she supposed to? And Ashley, aka Minnie, she was looking for her father, took a DNA test and the whole 9 yards, and she said it. She's like, she knows that if she would have had her father, she would have made better decisions in picking men. And it's true. It's true. There's a lot of things that I don't tolerate because I had my father. And I'm so grateful for that. And that's why I'm like shocked with Amanda, because like they had their dad, so who knows the deep-seated rooted issues behind that. But that's an important factor, And with Minnie dying, even though I didn't know her, that's just sad to die behind that. If she would have died from COVID, it would have been better. But the fact that she died from chasing her boyfriend because he was with another woman. And I feel like I talked about this before, but in case if I didn't, it's like, it's just a reminder, like, this is why you don't chase a man. Because I bet you he was still with her. And then the sad part is he didn't come to her funeral. And so there was a rumor saying that the mother didn't allow him. He probably didn't come because he just didn't care about her. And as harsh as that sounds, that's probably what it really is. Like, at the end of the day, she chased this man that was with another woman, and I'm pretty sure he was with her after she died. I'm pretty sure. Her death is not going to stop him, And it's sad because Minnie is gone now because she drove angry. It's just sad. But check out Little Women of Atlanta. If you got some spare time, watch it. It is so good. All the scenarios is very relatable. Even if you can't relate, it's just something to talk about. Little Women of Atlanta. Of course it's on Tubi. Where else would it be? It's on Tubi. And it's on Lifetime YouTube. And I feel like it probably would be on the Lifetime channel. But I'm not paying $10 a month for it. So that's why I got my Tubi. Right? Tubi is like all the collectibles. They got everybody else's show.